this was like the selling point for me because I knew that even though I changed my diet, because I tried the SCD diet, I tried candida, I tried paleo, I tried keto, it didn't like cure me. It didn't heal me. To me, healing is being able to go out on a vacation and eat cake or have a pizza with my friends. That's true healing to me. And not feel like I'm going to die the next day or feel like I'm going to have extreme symptoms the next day. So the selling point for me was the killing the infection part. And I could notice that there was something to it. And I decided to just take the plunge, take his protocol, get his product. And there was just so much information on there. And I used all that I could to help heal myself. Sure enough, using his what he talks about, I started getting better to the point where I didn't need to use the coconut oil anymore.
Awesome.
And I have that confidence now. I know that if I take in more raw dairy, that I don't have to worry about the bad symptoms as much. But it wasn't until I added raw dairy that I started to see big improvements.
Hi everyone. It's Mike, the Heal Your Gut Guy, and we're here with Cliff today. Say hi, Cliff.
Hey everyone.
Cool. Yeah, he had some proctitis, ulcerative colitis sort of issues, and he took our course, and he is doing better. So tell us a little bit about what issues you were dealing with and kind of where you're at now.
I was dealing mostly with proctitis, ulcerative colitis issues. Proctitis is like a local version of ulcerative colitis, whereas like it's ulcerative colitis your whole colon, but proctitis is like limited to my rectum area and my butthole. So I had an itchy butthole for a long time. Yeah, that was the issues that I was dealing with since I'd say probably 2013. My symptoms, I would say, are like 70% reduced.
So you were seeing countless U.S. doctors and Chinese doctors and Taiwanese doctors. I mean, they just kind of sent you on a wild goose chase and told you were crazy and imagining things. Like, that must have been super frustrating.
It's the worst when, like, I think everybody knows their body the best. And I knew that there was something very wrong with my symptoms. And it's very discouraging when you go to somebody who is like an authority figure because they're a doctor, they have a PhD. And I grew up conditioned to think that they were the authority on all my health issues. Like if I have a health issue, go to the doctor, take a medication, and boom, the next day you're good. But these same people were telling me that I had no problems when I clearly had problems. And they're telling me that I was imagining things and that I should just not, stop being so anxious. That's essentially what they were telling me.
So what were some of the natural remedies that you tried before you stumbled upon the Heal Your Gut Guy videos? So
the first breakthrough for me when it came to natural remedies, the best thing that worked for me was coconut oil. So if anybody has, itchy buttholes, like use coconut oil. It helps a lot. Like I just rub a little bit on it and a couple hours later, I feel much better. Most of the time I feel, if it's not really bad, like I feel normal again, just rubbing it on.
So tell us about your transition from coconut oil to kind of our ideology, the Heal Your Gut ideology. Like, it sounds like coconut oil wasn't, was helping, but it wasn't the whole solution.
The coconut oil was very good at controlling the symptoms, but I knew that even though I was controlling the symptoms really damn well, I might add, I still knew that there was something wrong. There's definitely something wrong with having an inflamed rectum every time I pass stools. So I finally decided to really dig deep into how I can heal this completely without I just want to be normal again. I really wanted to. and I stumbled upon Kenny Hannes's videos, and Kenny Hannes did one with Mike, and I went to Mike's channel and just like started consuming everything that I could, and I was like, okay, it sounds like he's being authentic. I feel that he's being authentic about this issue. I'm going to give it a shot. Watched his videos, started like using what he's talking about into my own protocol and mixing it up and seeing what works for me. And I could notice that there was something to it. And I decided to just take the plunge, take his protocol, get his product. And there was just so much information on there. And I used all that I could to help heal myself. Sure enough, using his what he talks about, I started getting better to the point where I didn't need to use the coconut oil anymore.
Awesome.
For my healing journey, I think for me, one of the biggest breakthroughs recently is raw dairy. Mm-hmm. So raw cheese, like raw aged cheese, raw milk, and especially raw yogurt has been a major discovery, I'd say, for me in regards to healing, because I noticed that I can change things about my diet. Sure, I can change a lot of things, but it wasn't until I added raw dairy that I started to see big improvements, and like intuitively I can feel that it really is helping in big ways. I know that when I have raw cheese, I have some of the most well-formed stools. I know that when I have raw yogurt, I just feel it. I feel it after drinking raw milk. It's so like drinking raw milk. I remember drinking it for the first week or so, and I slept like a baby. Like,
oh, wow.
I was like sleeping really, really well. Like I could feel like that soft sleep that you get when you have like a really good sleep. That's what I was getting from the raw milk. I think honestly, when I started doing that, taking the raw dairy, that I started to feel myself healing, like a true healing. And as I mentioned before, when I started the raw dairy, that's when I really stopped needing coconut oil and controlling the symptoms. I could just take in the raw dairy and be quite confident that my symptoms will go down. Gradually go down. And I have that confidence now. I know that if I take in more raw dairy, that I don't have to worry about the bad symptoms as much.
That's awesome. Tell us about kind of like an epiphany you had where you were watching our videos and you were kind of on the fence, and then you heard something and you're like, oh, that makes sense. For
me, the epiphany when I was on the fence about getting Mike's products, I was like, I don't know if completely this was like for real. Mm-hmm. I don't know about the infection killing me from the inside out. That sounds very scary. I don't want that to be true. Nobody wants that to be true. That's definitely a big like thing that I was holding on to. Is like, I don't want to admit that I'm actually there's actually something very like bad inside me. Mm-hmm. This was like the selling point for me, because I knew that even though I changed my diet, because I tried the SCD diet, I tried candida, I tried paleo, I tried keto, but it didn't like cure me. It didn't heal me. To me, healing is being able to go out on a vacation and eat cake or have pizza with my friends. That's true healing to me. Mm-hmm. And not feel like I'm going to die the next day, or mm-hmm. feel like I'm going to have extreme symptoms the next day. So the selling point for me was the killing the infection part. And and Mike, thanks for go into great detail about all the different things that you can use to kill the infection. Because if I take in all those things, I can feel confident that my symptoms are going to go down. I have to mention that the next step for me is to really to have a plan as to how I'm going to get rid of the infection and mm-hmm. move forward, healing with and reestablishing the gut microbiome. I think that's a very big important part of my healing journey.
Yeah, fighting infection in the microbiome is like a very confusing. People saying this, people saying that, and you know, I've read a bunch of lab studies, but it's still just hard to wrap your mind around. And you know, that's kind of what we're working on next in our protocol, is making that easier to understand. Like right now, I have candida eating bread in a cup, and I'm trying to understand what foods it grows fastest on, what foods it doesn't grow on, and all sorts of stuff like that. So we're constantly trying to make the information better, like try to understand this better so we can heal faster. Yeah, thanks for sharing all your information. Yeah, I hope this helps someone with proctitis or ulcerative colitis hear this, and it can help them. What would you tell somebody who has proctitis or ulcerative colitis? Because it sounds like you were running in circles. You know, I ran in circles for I don't know how long. You know, it kind of sounds like we went similar paths, trying all these different diets. What would you tell somebody who is, on like watching our videos and is on the fence?
Yeah, first of all, I'd tell you, like, sorry, dude, that you have this issue. Yeah. That's pretty sucky. But, and no pun intended, there is hope. You can heal your problem. It gets better. Like, listen to what Mike says, because there's definitely something to this, and it's going to heal you. But you have to figure out for yourself how you're going to go about healing yourself, because everyone reacts to foods different ways. We all have different bodies and genetic makeups or whatever. So, first of all, you can use coconut oil to ease your symptoms, but figure out what foods work for you and what don't, and try raw dairy. That's what's helping for me. That might help for you too. Try the raw dairy. Also, work on killing the infection if you think.
Cool. All right. Thanks for sharing your story, Cliff. I greatly appreciate sharing this story. Then it's not fun to have to talk about this stuff,
Yeah, I know.
Thanks a lot for being brave and sharing your story, and
no problem.
And keeping that like mental fortitude and just keep pressing on until you figured out, what the issue is and what works and what doesn't work. That's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah.
Cool. All right. See you, everyone. Bye-bye.